Yeah, what's good, yo? How you doing, Gooners? Gooner Nation! Yeah, big up to everybody. Fallout now from the Chelsea game. Everyone's feeling great about what lies ahead because things have been very difficult. We've been playing some really tough teams right now. And Bournemouth have been struggling. Burnley has been okay, although they got a fantastic result over the weekend. But listen, let's talk about some transfers and see what's going on at the moment now. The Kurzawa deal with PSG, as you know, they've been in talks for about a week. And basically, Arsenal want the player. They are willing to wait. Last week, PSG said 7 million euros. According to most of the media today, PSG have lowered their demands. So they're saying that they will take 5 million euros. And this is the thing, guys, in terms of he's just wasting his time, that he's not even getting on the field. So normally in these situations, when a guy wants to move to a team, you work something out because he's not going to be happy there. There's 6 months of him staying at PSG where he's going to be doing nothing. Kazawa would be doing quite a bit at Arsenal because when you think about it, we've got really one left back in Kieran Tierney and he's injured. That's it. I mean, even if Kieran Tierney comes back fit again, you've got Saka, who is notoriously an attacking midfielder, and he's filling in at left back. He isn't a left back, so we need cover there regardless. So I think getting him in is the right thing to do. Is he worth 5 million euros now? No, because you can get him in the summer, which is just a matter of 4 months. You got to wait to literally get him for nothing. So Arsenal are quite happy to really sit on their laurels and wait for Turney and Klasnach to come back to fill in on that side. As long as Saka doesn't get injured there, and as we know, Willock has played there at times in the youth setup, although he's more regarded as a number 8 or a number 10. But I don't really see anything moving on that unless it's PSG. Arsenal's not going to move their stance on it. They're going to say we can take him on a loan, or they can just sign him to a pre-contract. And so don't expect much movement on that. The fact that PSG is lowering their price tells you that they have got no plans for the player whatsoever. Next one is Aubameyang to Barcelona. This one is picking up steam. And really, I don't really know why it's picking up steam because Aubameyang actually came out 3 weeks ago. People forget. The rumours are rubbish and he's got no plans to move. And this was on the back of his brother making a statement. Here we are, 3 weeks later, talking about the same stuff. And honestly, I'd be surprised if Aubameyang doesn't come out and rubbish it in the next few days. But if he doesn't, and Barcelona are interested, then Arsenal have got to think about this seriously because he's out of contract in 2021 summer. And so what do you do? At the time, he'll be 32 years old. So we're not really going into Robin Van Persie territory here because Van Persie was still of a decent age, 29, 30 when he went to Man United. But I think this is desperation from Barcelona's side. Luis Suarez had an injury, a knee injury. They thought he was going to be back, and they've only just got the prognosis that he's basically going to miss another 3 months, which is essentially the rest of the season. And that's why they're desperate for cover now. But look, players who score 14 goals in 23 games in a mid-table team is just a non-factor. There just isn't those type of players around. If you've got strikers that are doing that well, the chances are a top team would snap him up. So Aubameyang, being what he is, very productive in a team that's 10th place, is not good for the player and it's not good for the club. And Arsenal will fight tooth and nail to try and keep him. I get it. Yeah, they will fight tooth and nail to try and keep him. They won't sell him. There's no benefit to sell him unless he comes out and specifically says, I'm not going to sign a new contract. Now, the front office has already made it clear last summer in that anyone who has 2 years left on their contract will sign a new deal, and if they don't, they'll be moved on. So are they saying by those words that Aubameyang this summer will be moved on? Because if he won't sign the deal's on the table. He's already making 200 grand a week now. So what would a new deal be? 250, 300? I really don't know. In this climate, I'm just unsure of where Arsenal are going with this. But the player obviously needs clarity and he needs to be playing Champions League football. That's the one thing that we do know. Quality players need to play Champions League football. And so I really don't know where this Aubameyang thing's going to go, but I do know that the player, unless he comes out with something solid, unless he comes out and says, this is rubbish, this ain't, because he's done it before. So I would think that there would be something strange if he doesn't do it now. Do you see what I'm saying? If he doesn't come out and rubbish it now, then there's obviously some truth to it. And the fact that Luis Suarez is out really tells you what you need to know about that. So the next thing I need to cover off is Dani Cellabos. Now, Dani Cellabos was brought in here from Real Madrid because he couldn't break into their team. Real Madrid said to him, look, we don't really have much plans for you for this season, so it would be great if you can go out and get yourself a team on loan. Arsenal was a big downstep for him. You know, leaving from a club like Real Madrid, going to Arsenal, who's not even in the Champions League, you know, I get it. It's not great for the player. But then a system was sorted out with Unai Emery. Unai Emery gone. He ain't here anymore. So the player he made that deal with, in Dani Cellabos, is now wondering, what's going on? I've actually been fit for 3 weeks. Cellabos has been fit to play for the last 3 or 4 games, but he finds himself on the bench. And this is the reason why these rumours are coming out that he is contacting Real Madrid to see if he can end his loan quickly. Now, and again, remember there's 3 parties here. But here's the thing. Arteta likes the player. We've talked about it many times, and Arteta's been honest about it in his pre-game conferences. He's come out and he said, look, I've watched him under 21. I like the player. And remember, he wants to play because he's got the Euros coming up very soon. So Cellabos wants to play. But there's one deciding factor in the reason why Arteta is not putting him on the field. And that is because of 2 reasons. One, you're getting good stability from your holding midfielders right now. Torreira and Xhaka are forming a partnership which is beginning to solidify the team in terms of having a spine, and the balance is exactly what Arteta's looking for. So you're not going to change a winning formula, even though we're not winning, but you're not going to change a formula that works. Arteta's just not going to do that. The second thing is Martinelli. Now, if you're going to put somebody in like Cellabos, you're going to have to take somebody out. You can't take out Pepe because he's your 72 million star, who's actually been playing well of late. Lacazette is Lacazette. He's going to get dropped soon. Aubameyang's going to be back for the Burnley game. But where do you really put Cellabos? You see, here's the problem. You've got no investment in Dani Cellabos whatsoever. Arteta knows it. The front office knows it. None. You paid 12 million euros to get this loan. That's how desperate Arsenal was to bring in somebody to replace Ramsey. And it hasn't worked out in the reign of his injury. You know, when players go on loan and they get injured, it really messes up because you're on a short time scale. But when someone from the academy steps up like Martinelli, you have to ride that ship and you have to go and play your winning hand because you've invested in the likes of Martinelli. He's your investment, not Cellabos, because Martinelli is the one that signed the deal. And it was only a 3-year deal. So essentially, he's only got 2 years left after this season. This is the reason why they're talking about offering Martinelli a new contract which will triple his wages. And they're on that right now as we speak. That's where their investment lies, not in Cellabos. And this is why we're having this situation now where Arteta's just not playing him. He'd love to, but why would you put somebody like that at the forefront of your team knowing that next season he might not be here? So what you're doing is you're really wasting the opportunity of someone like Willock, Saka, or Martinelli, one of the young guns. You're wasting that opportunity, even with Reece Nelson when he comes back from the hamstring injury. You're just wasting that development for someone who ain't going to be here. So I totally get why Arteta's doing what he's doing. And if Cellabos isn't with it, then you're going to have to let him go. That's something. I like the player. I think the player is very, very talented. Probably the best player we have as far as keeping the ball in possession, two-footed, going into challenges, winning tackles. He's a rough rider. He's got all-round game. He's a box-to-box midfielder, and he is that Ramsey replacement. When he's played, he's definitely looked the part. But if he's not going to be here, what do you do? So I totally get it. So really, guys, I wouldn't be shocked to see him on his way back to Real Madrid or go into another team. You know, maybe in the Bundesliga or maybe to another team in Italy or something like that. Or maybe even another team in the Premiership. I wouldn't be shocked to see him get another loan. But it really does look like the numbers are not in his game. Because when Aubameyang comes back, what are you going to do? You're only, you know, Reece Nelson's going to come back. You're not going to drop Torreira and Xhaka. You're not going to do that. That holding midfield is going to stay as it is. And Guendouzi is the preferable number 3 in that setup. So, you know, that's what it is, guys. I'm not going to lie. That's it from me, guys. Just a quick update. And really just looking forward to the weekend's game against Bournemouth. So, guys, that's it. Speak to you later, man. Right back at you. Peace out. And back your team, boys.